Just feeding off my teammates' energy. Coach just kept telling me when I was on the sideline, stay ready, stay locked in. I didn't have that good of a first half or beginning of the second, but like Coach just said in the locker room, last 3 minutes, I came in and do what I needed to do. So that was the main thing.
Francis, you got off to a great start offensively, and even when you weren't getting the shots after that, you continued to rebound. You ended up with 15, I think. First of all, talk about getting your shots to fall early in the game, and then just maintaining your intensity even though you weren't scoring a lot after that.
I mean, for me, coming into this game, I wasn't thinking about my shot falling or not. I was just thinking about how I'm going to help our team to win games. We've lost 2 straight games in a row, and this time I was like, no, we got to get the win. It feels good to get a win, and whatever I'm going to do to help my team win, that's what I'm focused on. And my shots were falling. I've been working on my shot. My teammates still trust me regardless of what has been happening. And, I know it's going to come. Coaches trust me. Everybody trusts me. So, yeah.
You guys are on the verge of maybe a 3-game losing streak there. What had to go right? It seemed like contributions from everybody kind of got you over the hump. I mean, being down late. Defense, it seemed like tightened up there toward the end.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked to ourselves. We were just talking to ourselves. You could see the emotions that everybody faced. We all knew, like, we need to win this game. We know what's going to win on the game was defense, and we all put our heads on it together, do this thing together. And we practice hard every day, We got to come out there and practice and do in games and do the same thing we do in practice.
Yeah, the feedback off what he just ended on. This past week, I feel like we really executed in practice. We competed as hard as we can. We had some tough days, and we went out there. We had a great week, and everybody went out there and competed each and every day. We had some days where, we looked very good, and, that was competing on the defense end. And that's what we wanted to focus on today, making sure we be physical, get back to rebounding and doing those things. And we showed that towards the end of the game. Like Coach always kept saying, draw the line and when stuff is going to go our way. And I feel like we did that in the second half, and, that was a tribute to how hard we practiced this week.
When things don't go well for even that short duration, a couple of games, do you have to kind of fight the confidence thing to keep that mentality of we can do this? Do you fight that at all, or is it just you have to have it? There's really no choice.
Yeah, you got to have it. Nobody going to feel bad for you. Some people may lose doubt in you. So, it's just continuing to get better each and every day.
Yeah.
Like I said, making sure that we go into practice how we did this past week, leading on going into every day like that. Just making sure that we build in more team chemistry. When we going out there and battling, I feel like that's a way for us to set a tone.
Yeah. Just to fit up what he said, like, we can't. The clock is still clicking. That's the time you gotta do it, or you wanna go home and complain why you didn't do it. We had the clock. We looked at each other. We're like, hey, we gotta finish this. And today, you could see the emotion everybody faced. We knew we have to play for each other. Like you said, nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. You just gotta handle business, figure it out.
Did having the week off maybe help you guys get together as a group, or like to work in practice versus having to play something else?
I would say yeah, probably would have. It was great for us to have that week off because we competed very hard throughout that practice. And, and then before the game, we said how hard we competed in practice. Let's go take that out on somebody else. And like I said, in the second half, we did that. We just got to continue to grow from that. But this past week, we had great practices.
Yeah, we did. We just focused on ourselves, focused on what we could do better. And Coach always said we're a great defensive team when we want to. And today we just proved that. We just got to continue doing that, One game is over now. We got another game coming up. We can't. This game is just a stack. It's just a record. It's a history. We got to go to the next game and do the same thing.
Francis just said it. This team can be very good defensively when you guys want to. How can you guys keep the defensive play game by game instead of one game here and another game there?
And that is where the emotional part comes in. We gotta figure it out. Like today, I was like, I'm coming to the game to be the emotional guy. I'm gonna be the guy talking. We got great guys to talk. We got Javon. Everybody talks, but you know, he has to. We have to do it during the games. We got to be that emotional guy. We got to remind each other how important it is, and everybody's gonna go there to go do it. We don't have no stubborn, crazy guy on our team. Everybody's trying to do whatever it takes to win. So we just have to keep reminding ourselves.
What do you have to do to maintain that offensive start you had throughout the game in terms of, continuing to score and get chances, and what didn't happen tonight to allow you to get the continued chances?
For me, I realized that what was open last year wasn't really open. This year I have to try to find more spacing for myself. I have a really good point guard. They're collapsing on him. So me and coach talked about it. I just have to find spacing and being consistent on my rebounding. Defensively, that gets me going offensively. So for me, I'm just going out there to play basketball. I'm just like, I'm just going out here to play basketball, and I know it's gonna happen well for me.
You shot at such a high level last year. I think you shot like 58, 59%. What do you feel like has been the issue just with finishing around the rim for you so far?
This year I don't know. There's some shot that I watched from like I did this perfect and I still missed it. And that's basketball. Me and coach talked about it. He was like, hey, there's gonna be some times you're gonna be really down, but what you gonna do about it? Are you gonna stay there, feel sorry for yourself, or you gonna keep walking? He said, coach, know I work hard, and it doesn't go well. I got another opportunity to make it right, and this is another opportunity. Things went well. I got another opportunity in this game, and I have to just focus on that.
Juwan, do you feel like you guys are going to play better from this place of feeling like you have to go out and prove yourselves over again? I mean, you look around the 8-10, and a lot of teams are not feeling great about how things are going so far. You guys had the big win against Memphis, but then have had some trouble. Do you guys feel like you're better if kind of some of the hype is knocked off and you're playing to prove it more so than to live up to high expectations?
I feel like we just gotta have, like Coach keeps saying, we just gotta have a swagger about ourselves. Have it all the time. You can't just turn it on and turn it off.
Yeah.
And that's probably something about in practice. You gotta continue to go in there, working hard every day, and practice is gonna lead over to the game. So we continue to keep practicing the way that we did, come out and competing in each and every game. I love what we can do. Like we lost against Boise State, we played good defense. It was our offense. Today, we towards the end we turned it on both sides. So that's just something we got to continue to work on, and we're gonna get there though.
Any more for Francis or Javon?
Thank you.
Appreciate it, yo.
Thanks, man.
All right, we'll do an opening statement from Coach Ford and then questions.
First of all, it's just a really good win. Two teams, I think you saw two teams who played well for the most part. Two teams that were battling for a win. As I told our team, that's a February, March game. Two teams battling, two good teams who probably haven't been playing their best of lately. And two teams that probably, I don't know what about them, but we've had a long week. And I'm sure they probably have a little bit as well. But really proud of our team. Got contributions from a lot of guys that did it. Everybody did something to help us win that got in the game. They may not have scored a ton of points. And look at a guy like Javon Pickett, who didn't play, wasn't being his best there for a while, but the last 4 minutes was probably one of the biggest differences in the game. At halftime, wasn't real happy. Obviously, the defensive numbers just were atrocious. And that was from the fact that the percentages of field goal and threes, we did not turn them over one time. They played 9 players, and 9 players scored. There was a guy that got in the game who we didn't even have in the scouting report, went 2 for 2. So we weren't real happy. And especially with no turnover, didn't turn them over at all. That's a sign of a lot of stuff we could talk about. But came out second half and kind of was the same thing. And about the 10-minute mark, they finally drew a line and said enough is enough. And I started hearing things in a timeout that you're supposed to hear, not the other crap I've been hearing in timeout. They started talking about things that were going to matter in the game, that were going to make a difference in the game, rather than things that don't make a difference. And we need to get a little. And I think finally they drew a line and said enough is enough. And we'll see. But the last 8 minutes is the way we need to play every game for 40 minutes. Not pretty, not just because we're supposed to be this, supposed to be that. You got to go out and earn what you get. Nobody's going to give you anything. And you got to do it together. Together, not one or two guys or 3. It's got to be everybody. And everybody's got a role. Everybody's got a job to do. Everybody has different strengths. If we don't use those strengths, we're an average team. And last 8 minutes, finally just kind of drew a line and said enough is enough. And finally responded a little bit instead of just kind of playing around. So really proud of that, really proud of that. I thought Javonte gave us a good lift. We can talk about more of that later, but, he and I had a lot of talks this week. How about Gibson? Gibson walks at 8 a.m. this morning, goes out and scores his 1,000th point and really, really plays well. And they're just, people are just, he's got, you ought to see his arms. I don't know if he already came in here or not. It's crazy. And I thought Francis was good, obviously. You saw glimpses of Francis of what we expect. But total team effort, good win for our team. We needed it, obviously, but, we got to figure out who we want to be.
Can you elaborate a little bit on the timeout and the conversations and what you had been hearing as opposed to what you didn't hear?
Yeah, a lot of times we hear a lot of excuses. Well, that's not my fault. That was his. Why did I come out of the game? Why, things that don't matter. At about the 8-minute mark, I started hearing, we're not losing this game. You need to block out. We need to do this. Make sure you're talking on the switch. Watch that screen back there. Set me a good screen. I'll get open. Those things matter. Because it's amazing when you're back against the wall and you got nothing but all you got to lean on is each other. You have that attitude all the time. But we haven't. And I told the team, at 8-minute mark, I knew. I said, we're going to win this game. Because finally here, and I think they did draw a line and say, all right, enough's enough here. And, when you're not turning a team over, 0, that's just not how we play.
Funny game. Javon probably scored more in the last 5 minutes than he scored those who kind of maybe you saw kind of dig in and
Yeah, no question. He had, wasn't having his best game, and TJ was playing well, and maybe wasn't getting as many, was struggling. But he didn't sit around and pout. Absolutely, he didn't sit around and pout and say, "Why am I not playing?" He said, "All right, now I can be a difference maker. Now I need to help us win this game." And he was a huge difference. I mean, a big defensively, offensively. But you got to be like that for 40 minutes, and that's everybody. That's 40 minutes of a tough mentality. Tough mentality. I told our team all week, we're wounded, like wounded lions, and when animals are wounded, they respond. They are protective. They find a killer instinct about themselves, and we've lacked that a little bit. And if we find it, we got a chance. We got a chance.
You mentioned a couple of times about a lot of people contributing. How important is that for like the team chemistry or whatever you want to call it, that a lot of guys can walk off the floor feeling like they contributed something?
It's ultra important. It's one of the things that's probably held us back and everybody's got to be involved. Everybody's got to be involved in the offense. Doesn't mean everybody gets shots. It means you're screening. It means everybody does need to touch the ball. We're moving. First 10 minutes of the game, our offense is everything we worked on. I mean, this week practiced for 3 hours a day. I mean, we got after it and tried to make some tweaks to the offense, trying to make sure we get guys touches. First 10 minutes was great. Second 10 we reverted back. We started sticking, trying to make something happen that's not there, and there's still 18 on the clock. Like, let's got to get this. We could have had 50-something points. And we kind of reverted back. We weren't trusting each other a little bit. And that's what we did in the last game. It was just, we were too predictable. We're very predictable. And that's me. And I told him last game, that's on me. But I'm going to change it. And we got to do it. And when we're sharing the ball, moving the ball, then we have offensive options. It makes the other team work because the other team's making us work on the other end. And we got back to it a little bit, but it takes and then everybody's got a rebound. I told everybody's got a number they need to get. We got to get everybody rebounding. Everybody has a number they need to get. Yuri got a number. Gibson needs a number. Francis got a number. Javon's got a number. And you need to go get your number. You need to figure it out. If you got to go take one from your teammate, go take it from their teammate. But you need to figure it out. And, we were talking about it today because this team hasn't lost a game where they've out-rebounded their opponent. They're 8-0, I think. We're talking about that today to the team, and Corey Tate said, "Coach, can I say something?" And I was talking about rebounding. And I said, "Sure." We're all in a circle after shoot around. He goes, since we've been here, and he's been here with me from the beginning, he said, this team's known for two things. And he said, I hear it everywhere. When I go recruiting in the summer and you got 25 assistant coaches, everybody says, our teams are scared to play against you guys. They're so physical and aggressive and the best rebounding team we've played. We're known for toughness and aggressiveness and rebounding. I can't say this team's been known for that quite yet, but we don't need to change. Just because you got maybe supposed to have talent, things like that. That makes the talent come out. That makes the talent rise to the top. And when you find that toughness mentality, then you got a chance. You got a chance.
You said, Travis, entering the season, this was the most talented team you've had, but I guess it sounds like the key is maybe getting the talent to play like a hungrier team. Is that, and that's kind of what you.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say. Obviously we've had some players that not, what they need. They're going to hopefully be at some point. So we're not the most talented. We're not that team that when on paper it looks great, but we're not that. And that's the first thing we had to tell our team. Wait a second here. Even everybody can get caught up into that. Ooh, you got Perkins back. You got all conference, but that's only good if everybody's playing the best they've ever played, But that's okay. And we've won with that, that's okay. And, it's what last thing I told our team, guys, we still ain't got close to playing near what we think we can. Not even close. Even with the 8 wins and whatever we got, 9, whatever wins we got, glad we got them. But we got so much more in us. We got to find it. We got to have guys. Yeah, and some of it is because some guys aren't. But we're a solid team right now. That if we can get everybody going and healthy and playing their best, then yeah. But that's part of, and then finding that toughness and not thinking we're going to win because of our name on the back or name in the front or we're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that, and we've gotten humbled here lately, no doubt about it. Shit, no question. I mean, but it's in us. We just got to get everybody going. Until then, we got to learn to survive. And we're not. We all heard people on paper, and it looks, that's, when you get past that, all right, and try to figure out how we can compete every game and win one game at a time. We can talk about schedule hasn't been easy. There's been, doesn't get any easier. That's tough, and that, but it is. We're not changing it anytime soon, and so. That has a little bit to do with it when we're not 100% like we thought we were going to be, but we'll get there. We're going to get there.
So part of that is Javante. You mentioned the conversation. What have the talks been like with them, and
Yeah.
they lead into tonight?
We obviously Sunday. We were off this past Sunday after that deal, and I brought him in. I called him, said, meet me at the office, and he came in and walked in, gave him a big hug and everything, and I sat him down. I said, at first, just want to tell you, everything's my fault. I'm going to take total responsibility of everything. And I apologize. I haven't bred the confidence in you that you need. I've been very quick with you. We both know you're not playing, and I know you want it badly and you're going to get there, but blame it on me. I'll take the total responsibility. You don't need to lose confidence in yourself, JP. Do not do it. You can lose confidence in me, and I need to gain it back. And I'm going to. So that's why you're sitting here. To me, to tell you that, and to tell you I'm going to let you play. All right? You don't need to be looking over your shoulder thinking, I better get up 4 shots before I come out. All right? So, now, I'm telling you that, but also, okay, here's what I'm going to need from you, though. You don't need to be taking tough shots. You need to play lower to the ground. You need to, defend the best you possibly can. Can't average 1 rebound. So these are things I'm asking from you, but I'm going to let you play. I'm going to let you play, and I'm going to show you that. And we talked for a long time. It's hard on him. Can you imagine? You just don't realize what these kids go, and I wasn't helping causes. And luckily I knocked myself upside the head and what the frick am I doing? Here's a guy that's struggling, who has such a high expectation of where he's been, who's going to get back to there. I told him, don't you worry about what are you going to get back to that player. That's a yes. That's a yes. Now, I can't tell you when, JP, but, oh, yes, you will be back. You will make a lot of money at this game. You will. And I believe that 1,000%. That's not motivating. That's not. He will. I don't know if it's going to be here. I don't know. I don't know. But don't lose confidence in yourself. You've been dealt a tough blow, a tough deal, and I'm going to breathe confidence in you. I'm going to stick with you. I'm going to be hard on you. And JP's a guy who coaches laugh at me. I've never been hard on JP. He has one of those personalities. I kind of let him do his thing, and when you don't say much to him. But I said, all right, you're going to hear it every day in practice, and he responded this week a little bit. But I think letting him know that that's on me, man. That's on me, and I can do something about it.
Does Javante really need to does he have to make shots for him to be what you guys need him to be? Can he do those other things and not be making shots and still be valuable?
Making shots sure helps, so it sure helps. That was his deal anyway, I mean.
When he gets in traffic and makes shots, that's when he just looks like his old self. He's always going to hit. probably always gonna hit open.
It's coming.
When he's in traffic, rising up above guys, that shows he's confident.
Yeah, he's getting there. I got to give him that kind. I got to push him. But I also got to let him know I got his back.
On Francis, he started really fast offensively, was making shots, had to help his confidence. What do you have to do to maintain that now for throughout the, more of the course of the game where he's getting touches and shots? Because he didn't get shots after the first inning.
How do I make sure he plays like that every game? Boy, if I knew, I wish back to our conversation.
So was it?
I'd be advising a lot of people if I fully grasp what you're saying, because we sat there, and Chris May and I talked about this hour before the game in the coach locker room about this particular thing. I can't figure. I kind of saw it coming. I tell you, Francis Okoro, 12 o'clock this afternoon, full sweat. Yesterday morning at 9 a.m., individual, full sweat. Coach calling me, Coach, can we get an individual work? Yeah, I mean, he just works and works. Great attitude. He just hasn't, I've been searching why he's just not been himself. And it's a reason we haven't, he's such an important piece to our team. But I kept telling him, and as I told him, it's coming, Francis, it's coming. You got to don't forget you were being double teamed in the month of February and March last year. Double every time you touched it because people were scared of you. You're going to get back there. And to his credit, he stays positive. He stays very positive. But it's important we get this, no question, Stu. And what I've done, and I told him, what gets lost in it, because I'm always wanting more from him, sometimes we lose sight of the things he is doing. And what he was doing is rebounding and chasing balls down while everybody else is standing and watching. And he was doing that even when he wasn't making layups and doing other crazy stuff. He was still playing hard and searching rebounds. And I said, no, you need to be given all that credit in the world, because our team, if we don't have that, we're in deep, deep trouble. But we all know he can score, and we all know he can play better than he's been playing. He knows that. He'll tell you that. But hey, that's reality. You may not always be your best.
Anybody else, Coach?
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Good to see you.